Acknowledge me.
Leveled by Marvin Constant, the redshirt freshman out of Tuscaloosa.
Oh, they go by now. Let him know he don't want to stop.
65 yards, and the ball was brought away from the line of scrimmage. Gerald Dixon.
Hey, you forgot to see my book.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's Tuesday night. You know what time it is. The Bama Standard is live on air. Quick shout out to JT for that brand new intro. Y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, live chat. You do your thing tonight. Just get involved. Tell you what, we might even pick some of your questions to be asked on the panel tonight. So I'll pick out some great ones, get them ready. But listen, as always, we wouldn't be where we are without our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, if your business needs a digital presence, full-fledged marketing team, SEO, copyright, or any other business need, these are the guys you need coaching up your business. Go visit them today after the show, of course, at workspacepros.com. And then another great sponsor, folks. The season never truly ends, and hey, it's just about to begin. So that means to celebrate your Crimson Tide, you need your official title towel. Go to whitwillsports.com today. Enter in the promo code STANDARD. Get you a nice little discount courtesy of your family here at the Bama Standard Network. I'm your host, Justin Wiley. With me, as always, a living legend, the undefeated, undisputed king of comedy. He's everybody's cousin, and he's the star of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Brown.
Man, I'm so happy to be back here, man. Let's make it happen, man. I'm excited. Let's go, man. We're a couple of weeks away. Let's go, man. We got great guests. We got all that, man. So there's no reason why y'all shouldn't be watching and just rooting for the Bama Standard. Because absolutely, after all, we are the Standard. Let's go.
Let's go. 18 days. And then right next to him is 1999 all-SEC linebacker. When Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. He is that man, Marvin Constant.
Hey, yo, shout out to Jeff Stapleton. You called it right. Talking trash as always. You were 100% spot on, baby. Kelly, Bobby, what's good?
And then we got another legend in the building. He's a 1999 All-SEC defender and champion. He's one of the top evaluators in the game, both in the NFL, XFL, as well as 247 Sports, CBS, and he also changes carburetors on the side. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Smoke Dixon.
I'm just going to say I'm glad to be here. And Marvin, you talked too much already, bro.
Smoke.
Hey, that's why you fresh off selling Kirby vacuum cleaners, man.
Hey, I thought he became a church deacon. That's what I thought. He came in and let us all know he got saved.
Hey, Steve, he the sole remaining Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman.
Okay, Marvin, that's enough jokes for you, Marvin. We don't want you doing no more jokes.
Cut him off.
Remember that.
Last but not least, he is the senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine and the Bama Standard. He's a guy who keeps Paul Feinbaum gainfully employed. Ladies and gentlemen, the hardest working man in show business, Stephen M. Smith.
Yeah.
What's up, people? We got football coming up. We here, as Steve Brown said, we here now.
Why do your shoulders match the shoulders on that chair you sit in there?
Shut up, Marvin.
Hey.
Your shoulders sitting up like the top of the chair.
Hey, I thought that was his obituary.
I ain't dead, man.
That's okay. Marvin's in the room he grew up in.
Yeah.
Stephen M. Smith.
Hey, okay, I'm sorry. Hey, I got one question. Stephen, when is the funeral? Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, we know
dressed for it already.
Yeah, we know who's preaching at it.
Yeah, dog, man, y'all crazy, man. Dog.
Stephen, get yourself together, sir. We've got a guest in the building, and there's only one person that can bring him in properly.
Yes,
tell the folks who we got in the building tonight.
Man, I covered this brother right here. This my boy right here. We talk about everything is big time in Texas. Food, belt buckles, money, high school football, all of it, the Dallas Cowboys. This dude is from Texas, and he came to Alabama, 2016 class. was on that 2017 national championship team, 3-time SEC champion, had 4 interceptions in that 2019 season, went down to the Senior Bowl and did his thing. He taught Xavier McKinney everything about being a safety, and I don't think he ever got chewed out by Nick Saban. We got Jared Smooth Mayden in the building.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an intro. Go ahead, line it.
He damn near got out the car. Like, wait a minute, I think I can still do this.
Hey, had some clips reminiscing in my head.
Is it true you never got cussed out by Coach Saban?
No, I don't know about that one. No.
Okay, I was about to say, you
Everybody
accomplished
gets
something.
Everybody didn't got their time. Everybody got their time. I don't know not one person who ain't got their one-on-one. From punter to, it don't even matter. Somebody got their one-on-one.
I was about to say, if that never happened, you were truly a legend.
Hey, but if that didn't happen, hey,
Man,
if that didn't happen to somebody, I would have had a different career. I would have been a 3 and done, not a 4. You did that, you would have been a 3 and done. Hell, 2 and done.
Oh, wow.
man, I knew you were fast, but I didn't think you could escape his wrath, brother. So,
No,
But-
ain't no escaping that one.
no doubt, no doubt. But man, we've been working on getting on you here for a long time. We finally got you in the building. We're excited. We got a brand new segment called the Hot Seat. Stevie Brown here, the star of the show, is going to let y'all all know how that works. And we got the guest who's going to take that seat. We're going to get to know him a little bit, ask some great questions, things that are kind of, outside the box. We're going to keep it fun. Steve, tell the folks what we got going on.
The hot seat. All right, so, or we can call it the savings chair.
Ooh.
Each panelist we're going to ask you anything we want to ask you. You got to answer it. Plus, we're going to take a couple of questions from the our people in the chat. They can ask you anything they want to ask, and you have to answer it. And that's just how it goes. When we put you in that saving chair, or AKA the hot seat, hey, you in there. So you got to get yourself out. All right. So be ready.
All right, Steve Brown, tell us who is going first on this panel.
All right, hot seat. Okay, we're going to start with Stephen, and then we're going to do Gerald. No, we'll leave Gerald last. We'll do you, Justin.
Okay.
Then we'll do myself, and then we'll do Mark.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
so
And then with Smoke. And we can take. Let's take 2 questions from the audience, from our chat room, and you can read them off, Justin, and we can go from there. Any question you want to ask.
All right.
Buckle up.
Jared, you are now on the hot seat. Let's go, Steve.
okay, is Bucky's really that good?
Bucky's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I had Bucky's last week. I'm not going to lie. I had the breakfast chorizo and egg. Yeah. Bucky's is that deal.
Man,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
He
It's
went
been a little
easy on it to kind of
It's
warm
been-
him up. I can appreciate that.
All right, Justin, let's go.
Okay. I'm going to talk about your skill, brother. I loved how you were able to read the field. You could break down a quarterback before the ball was even snapped. But for every DB, there's always that quarterback or that wide receiver who challenged him the most. Who was that for you, and how would you grade yourself against that guy?
We just talking about college, or you talking about in general?
College. Yeah, let's go college.
Go college. I'll go. Honestly, there was no harder game than practice. So I got to go Calvin Ridley, and then Tua.
Mm.
I can understand that.
Okay.
Respect.
With unguardable. There'll be times Coach Saban will remind you, like, hey, this guy's on scholarship too. So, and I can't coach you everything to do. It's just gonna be times he's gonna get one up on you. And then Tua, I just remember in times at practice, like wondering how he just threw this ball so pinpoint. And I remember one time I thought I had an interception, and he just threw it like to Judy's knees on the sideline, but he was outstretched. I remember, like, who is throwing this in the game? Like, there's nobody doing this. There's nobody doing this. So I just kind of got up and said, bro, you got one. This is one of your, this is a special dude out here. And it is what it is.
So Jared Garantano was not like that. In other words.
It's getting a little warmer now. Now, whose turn is it now? Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn then, Marvin.
Oh, okay. Jared, you being a University of Alabama football player, how many times did you get confronted by one of the male students at the university for taking their girlfriends?
Nah, that ain't never happened to me. Nah,
I'm gonna ask you again.
I told you don't be politically correct here, Jared.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That ain't never happened to me. School too big. It's too many people that go there. So me really, that never really happened to me.
Oh, and so in other words, you got away with it.
Yeah.
Nobody came and said nothing to me. It sounds like she got away with it. I ain't got away with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jared just incriminated himself. He said she got away with it and she didn't do it by herself. All right, it's hot. It's getting hot. All right, Marvin, let's go. He's rubbing his forehead, y'all. Let's go, Marvin.
All right.
Ask your dumb ass question.
All right. You're right. All right, man. I'm gonna get to you in a second. All right, so here we go. Worst mistake you've ever made in a game on live TV, and did it end up with you result? Did it result in you ended up on not top 10, or you got mossed?
So I say my worst mistake I ever made in the game.
On live TV, because you know they're going to crucify you on live TV.
On live TV, it was my junior year. I think we played Louisiana Raging Cajun or something like that, the Raging Cajuns. And I remember that week, I was kind of done with it because I was a junior, barely playing, whatever. So, boom, I'm kind of peed off the whole week. And now we get to the game. So the game, I'm really not supposed to be playing. And then Coach Saban, for some reason, comes up to me and says, "Oh, you going in?" So go in. It's probably like fourth quarter. It got to be a fourth. I go in. I barely know the game plan, whatever. Man, the first play, I want to say the running back. Crazy, I end up playing with the running back in San Fran, Elijah Mitchell, I want to say. Man, first play from scrimmage, I think he busts through, stiff arms me, and then takes it for like 50 yards for a touchdown. So boom, I'm embarrassed already. I come over to the sideline and I'm like, man, what just happened? So boom, I'm like, man, it's time for me to get in the game. Like, it is what it is. Next series they come out, I think they run a slot fade. Boom. Dude catches it and mosses me for a touchdown in the end zone.
Damn.
2 touchdowns in like 2 drives. That was the most embarrassing moment I've ever had on national television. Even probably ever playing it. I think I've never given up a touchdown in a game again after that.
Did you make ESPN though?
I want to say I did. I think I did. I think I definitely did.
Wow.
I think the stiff arm did. Cause I remember seeing it later that night at the little bar Industry. That's in Tuscaloosa. I remember seeing it on the highlights.
And I bet they showed it when you was with a girl too, huh? Look at you with your side ass.
It's a bar fool. At that point, it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens.
Yeah, it happened.
Hey, bro, if you ain't on ESPN, that means you ain't playing. It happens to all of us. We all get baptized at some point. The only guy on this panel that said he never got baptized, Marvin's gonna say it, but he's gotten baptized.
No, I don't know about that.
I've never gotten baptized. I never got in the damn game, but that's another story. All right, smoke you up. All right, let's go to hot seat or the Saban chair.
So I'm gonna put you in the Saban chair for a little bit longer because your guy just retired because of the transfer portal. Transfer portal wasn't always in when you were there, and it took you a while to start until your senior year. Now, if you were in today's model, would you have transferred out of Alabama if you didn't play in your second year?
Yeah, so remember, really the backstory of that was with the 2 touchdowns. That was the year that I want to say his name was Kelly from Clemson. Had the 4 games and then redshirted. Yeah. So I tried to do that my junior year. Like that week of that game against the Cajun, I was like ready to go. I think I was gonna go to Oregon because they were on semesters. So it was a whole fit of trying to just leave because at this point I'm a junior. We got Pat Surtain, we got Trayvon Diggs, we got this dude. I'm only barely playing, so I was ready to go. So I definitely tried it. And then Coach Saban called me up to his office and told me, you know, you can do it, but you ain't gonna have study hall. You can't come work out in here. You can't. He told me a lot of stuff you're not gonna be able to have. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to go down this route. So then, you know, told me on Wednesday. I was on scout team the whole week. That game happened. Gave up the 2 touchdowns, and then that's when I was just like, I can leave right now, and this will be the last thing people remember from me here, or I can turn up and start listening to the man and just ball out. So yeah, I tried, definitely tried, but
you was having a rough week. You burned your red shirt and you gave up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was a rough, and that was a rough week. I'm telling you, that's my grown man come to Jesus like, hey.
But
it worked though, right?
But you stayed.
Yeah,
That's
the
thing.
You stayed.
That's what's
It
up.
ended up working.
That's what makes you, and it makes real players because that's what hardens you and toughens you up.
Yeah, instead of leaving like how these kids can now.
Steve, can we go one more round before we get to the audience questions? We got a few who want to ask. You think we can go one more round?
You know what? Let's go one more round.
All right.
All right, Steven, what you got?
Golly. If you in Tuscaloosa right now, and you gotta eat at one of these 2 places, you eat Archibald's or Woodrow's. You eat Archibald's or Dreamland. I bet.
I'm gonna go to Archibald's.
They
I had the wings in so long.
Okay.
I had the wings in so long, and the banana pudding.
Mm.
Man, I remember they used to serve that all the times for the recruits. Man, I probably talked to whatever recruits was necessary, but in that point, I'm taking 2 plates home, 2 big plates of wings. I got enough for 2-3 days. You know, it wasn't no NIL then. I'm gonna feed. This the food for me.
All right. Who's up next? Justin, that's you, right?
That's me. That's me. Jared, what I loved about your game was your physicality. Of course, I know you had a lot of hits, but every great hitter has that one that sticks out in their mind, their favorite. Which one was that for you?
So the first game of the season, we played Duke. And I think the very first play was they run crack toss. And it was one of the offensive linemen that got up to the safety level. And I laid him out. Near leg, near shoulder, boom, smacked him. Like, I rolled over the top of him. And I think I don't really talk trash that much, especially not at that time. And that's probably one of the only times I ever talked trash to old linemen, too. And I was like, boy, y'all. Then I said, you at Duke and you this soft? No wonder you not going to the NFL. Like, I went crazy. I went crazy. Smash dude. That was my best hit of the year. I took him off his feet, and he's 300-some pounds on a crack toss, and nobody stopped him. Like, he had nobody stopping him from getting to the 3rd level. So he ran dead sprinting. So that was my favorite hit.
Yeah, great answer. Steve.
Right. Am I up? All right, so Jared, while in college, have you ever had a stalker? You know, I have them all the time. So
Yeah, your probation officer. Yeah.
Shut up, Marvin.
Miss Eunice.
I don't think I had no stalker.
Okay, you ever had a stalker, and where was the weirdest place she showed up?
I don't think I ever had no stalker. I ain't gonna say, like, as far as stalking goes, like, bro, what is you doing here? I don't think I ever had. I don't be trying to do.
Marvin had a stalker. Marvin, you remember that time that dude showed up and
ain't nobody laughing but you.
Well, I mean, he was at a Diddy party.
Marvin, your secrets are good with me.
Marvin, you're up.
You're ready. You're up, Marvin.
All right. So,
have you ever been?
What can you say is the one thing that prevented you from playing early in your career at Alabama?
I don't know about it's one concept, but it's more than one thing. I could say Minka Fitzpatrick, Eddie Jackson, Levi Wallace. Who else want to go? Marlon Humphreys, Anthony Averett. Then you had Ronnie Harrison. Then you had Deontay Thompson. Them is the reasons. Like I felt like depth. It is what it is. Kind of one of them things. Because when they told me when I got recruited to Alabama by Coach Pruitt, he made it seem like, oh, Cyrus Jones is leaving. You know, we looking for a corner. That they don't tell you is Marlon Humphreys, is Anthony Everett. There's Tony Brown. You know what I'm saying? All of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely one of the reasons. But my sophomore year, I definitely thought I was playing at the ability to start at corner. The summer scrimmages we were having, I still have the papers to this day. I graded out first in production points, and then the second scrimmage, I think I was top 5. So I was balling, but when you sit down in the DB meeting room with Coach Saban, you know what I'm saying? He gonna coach up Minka Fitzpatrick, Marlon Humphreys, Anthony Everett. Then when he gets to you, he gonna coach you, but it's just not your time. It's not your time.
Hey man, you know what? With your name and all the DBs that you mentioned, I don't understand why people don't call Alabama DBU. Those are some names, including yours. Those are a lot of names. You know, and of course, don't forget about my boy Smoke. So yeah, we got some names, man.
Now we got a couple of things in common. We're both members of Bills Mafia.
Okay,
You played with some quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, and Josh Allen. If you had to rank all 3 of those guys in a wild play that you saw from each of those guys, what would be your answer?
Oh,
now that's on the spot one for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's on the spot one for you. I'm taking Tua. Definitely taking Tua. Tua just can spin it, and it's not. I feel like it's no ball he can't throw. Then after that, we got Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Man, Josh Allen got an arm. Just by seeing it in real life, like I seen it in real life, real time. Like
unreal.
It looks like he threw a deep ball, hole shot, cover 2, and he threw it from like the logo area. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. It looked like somebody I'm looking at the ball spin. It looked like Tua's for the national championship. And I'm looking at his spin, but there's no lob on it. It looked like he threw a 15 feet beeline to the pylon. And I remember just being like, bro, did somebody just push the ball in midair? Like somebody pushed it. But then you got the turnovers that come with that.
Right.
I might go Jalen Hurts second because that's a playmaker. That's a game changer. So I'm going to go Jay Hurts second, then I'm going to go Josh because that arm talent is crazy. And Josh Allen, a game record too. I didn't realize how big he was till in practice we called it down. And he was legit 6'7".
Dang.
260 pounds.
Legit.
God.
Legit. Not playing. Like legit. And some Crocs out there at walkthrough.
What?
Yeah, I said because when I was at Philly before I went to the Bills, I remember watching the highlights. I'm like, bro, how is this quarterback running through DBs and dudes look like they scared to hit him? But when you run on him, it's like, okay, I understand.
You got to be careful when you run up on him because you got
to make a career decision.
Yeah, a life decision.
He's a grown man.
Wow.
I want to say the biggest QB I probably I remember Joe Burrow. I went on a blitz. I missed the tackle, but I remember running up on him like, okay, he might be my size, but then I get up on him and I'm like, well, he's like a 6'3", 6'4". And I go to wrap my arms around him and I couldn't wrap. And I was like, oh, this a big dude. So thinking about having to do that with Josh Allen, you got to come in there with your mind like, right.
Wow.
Come in with your mind right.
Right.
Okay, there it is. All right, so you almost off the hot seat. Is it your turn, Justin?
No, I was going to say, Steve, since you're the master of ceremonies of this particular segment, how many audience questions are we going to take?
Let's take 2.
All
right.
Let's
take 2.
Gotta go first with Don Parker because we always love to ask this question. Tell us your Coach Saban going off moment that you can now talk about but will never forget.
So my freshman
when
year,
it's called with soul.
my freshman year, we had a practice going against Calvin Ridley. He the solo X, trips, whatever. Fade route cooks me. I want to say he probably took the ball like 60 on a fade. So we coming back, jogging back from the end zone because he scored. I want to say the ball was on the 20. No, he took me deep. Coach Saban was started behind the offense. You know what I'm saying? He has walked and cussing me out from the, what would that be, the 10, all the way to the opposite 40 when he caught up to me coming back. And then now his hat's off, you know what I'm saying? He just mad. Now he done walked back cussing me out from that opposite 40 all the way back to the scrimmage line. Like what is that, 100 and something? Like that's like 120 yards. He just walked just to cuss me out. Just to cuss me out. Just to cuss me out. I'll never forget that. You know, and that's when I remember the next play, bro. I just remember having tears in my eyes. And then I come over to the sideline. Anthony Averett was like, bro, it's all right, bro. Like, you do it to all of us.
We all got it.
And the tears, like, you know, the mad tears that you had when you was a kid. This is one of them, like, bro, I can't believe I'm out here doing this.
He was about to say, all my life I had to fight.
Yeah.
And it was camp, too. And that's when we still had two-a-days before they took two-a-days away.
Wow.
And there was no day off. Every day we ran in there every day. So it was, I remember being like, bro, is this for me?
Make you question yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jared, now how intense was the heat out there as he was cussing you out?
Hey, to this day, I still haven't been no place hotter than Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I know,
Like,
man.
I compare places to Tuscaloosa. I'd be like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just humid.
Hey, man. Hey.
Now that I'm back in Dallas, I'd be like, oh, this is just the sun. At least we still can feel the wind.
Hey, man, right now the temperature in Tuscaloosa is on civil rights. Right now. As a matter of fact, I went home to visit my mom last week, and I promise you, I saw the Ku Klux Klan marching with short sleeve sheets on. Listen,
now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of people don't understand this. Smoke, you'll know it. Jared, you'll know it. When you coming out to go practice, a lot of those days, you know how you see the heat coming off the pavement? You will see it coming off the grass.
Ooh.
And it's like, this ain't even cement. This is grass. Why is the grass got steam and coming off of this? Like,
and the waves, remember the waves that you see, Bob? You're like, man.
My freshman year, we had a coach, full body cramp, IV, had to go. Had to take him.
See, Jared, you younger than us.
You out here yelling at us. You the coach.
But you cramping up.
So hold on. Imagine being in Tuscaloosa doing 3 days. See, when we played, we did 3 days.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
I still can't.
All right, so Justin, you got one more, right?
Got one more. I want to bring you into the new era. Amber Nicole, 313. Jared, how are you feeling about the new era of Alabama football? Things have changed since you left, and it wasn't that long ago. Different landscape.
I mean, it is going to be different. You know, one thing I did like that they kept some of the guys that know how it was back when. I want to say they got Freddie Roach up there. Roach was definitely somebody who can bring that Bama Standard out of anybody, even when I was there. I know they kept some of the academic staff around. I think Chap is still up there.
He is. So is Denzel.
So yeah, man, they're gonna be in good hands. They're gonna be all right. And then the new coach is a winner. So I don't see no problem. I feel like we're gonna be. I don't see us really falling off. I don't see it. The mentality may change, whatever, but I don't see us falling off. We still got defense. We got Malachi Moore out there. Offense, just been that offense has just looked different since I left. With the Ruggses and the Waddles, those guys were just different type of game makers. So I guess I got used to that. And then since they left, the explosion receiver, like you're one, like if I got this dude the ball, he's going to score right now. It's kind of a little different, but I'm interested in seeing what it looks like this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. All right.
Well, brother, we appreciate you being in the hot seat for 30 minutes. That's a long time. And we greatly appreciate you being on our show. Before we I'll let you head out. If you would, tell the folks how they can find you on social media, and then what you got coming up next.
So my Instagram, Jared Mayden II, just 2 eyes. And really just next is just working out. I'm on my vet contract in the NFL now. Was blessed to be able to, get 3 credited seasons as an undrafted guy. So right now is just staying in shape and seeing it for, the next team who calls and just being ready.
That's what's up, man.
Well, cool, man. Again, we greatly appreciate you, brother, and we definitely appreciate what you contributed to our football team, dude. Like I said, you're one of the baddest dudes as far as hitting goes. Loved watching you do your thing every Saturday. Guys, anything else you want to say before we let him loose?
Oh, yeah, expect that call because it's coming sooner than you think, bro. It's coming sooner than you think.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Wherever
sir.
you end up, give them hell, baby. Let them know where you're from.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Always. I appreciate it.
My man.
Take care.
All right, brother. Take care.
You too.
That is.
Man,
that was fun. That was
a
fun.
lot of fun. Steve, I think we found a favorite segment now.
You know something, though? You know something? I think that, for the person who in the chat, whoever asked the best question, we ought to award them with a title towel or something.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We can do that.
Cool.
Whitwell Sports is here. Hook them up. I tell you what. Let's see. Let's pick real quick. Tom Parker, if you would, email me, Justin Riley at theBamaStandard.com. Give me your information so we can get you a title towel sent to your home, courtesy of the Bama Standard Network.
And Steve, don't you wipe your face with it and have your forehead sweat all over it either. He want a new towel.
Well, listen.
You're the only one that would think about something like that, dude.
Speaking of forehead sweat, it's hot out there. Our guys are still getting it done. Fans need to know what happened. Well, the good thing is we got somebody who's on the scene, and not only that, matched up with him, we got one of the best evaluators ever. Folks, that means it's time for the depth chart.
Stephen M., you ready to get to it, my guy?
Let's crack open the money, baby.
Man, I heard you've been on that block. You've been on that field. You've been watching the position battles. Let's start on the defenses and the wolf position. If you can give a quick explanation of the wolf position and what that first string and second string and whoever is battling for that last spot at that wolf position.
Okay, so fans, the wolf position is basically the second defensive end. So remember, under Nick Saban, you had the Jack and the Sam linebacker. Those are just 2 outside linebackers. Your Jack was more so your pass rusher. Your Sam was more so of your run stuffer / your coverage guy. That was under Nick Saban in that 3-4 with the nickel. Under Kane Womack in this 4-2-5, in the 4-2-5, the 4 down linemen, one of those down linemen is the wolf. So instead of him being up rushing the quarterback, he's down with the hand in the dirt coming after the quarterback. So he's the other defensive end. So right now, the number 1 guy in this wolf is Quindarius Robinson. Q Rob is number 1. He's transformed his body. He's now at 240 pounds at 6'5". He's gotten better pass rush moves on him. He's playing with a whole lot more confidence than I've ever seen him play. And people forget Q-Rob had to wait behind Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, Drew Sanders, Chris Braswell, a ton of dudes. So now Q-Rob's like, okay, my time is now. I'm going to take mine now. After waiting and learning, I'm taking mine now. So he's the number 1 wolf guy. Behind him is a battle going on between Keanu Coote and Quay Russaw. Quay is right on Keanu's heels right now. They're both twitchy. They're both really good. But right now, Quay is making it tough on Keanu to kind of separate from him.
Wow.
Wants to know, is it any possibility that we'll see all 3 of them in some type of speed package at some point, though?
That has been talked about to Kane Womack. He is putting that in there. So that there will be a package where you will see Q-Rob, Keanu, and Quay all out there. Womack has put that together.
Because if you remember when the New York Giants did that, they maximized that speed package. Man, if you can replicate something similar to that, You're talking about being a quarterback's worst nightmare in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10. Because, again, you got to hold the ball a little bit longer because it's longer down the distance. I mean, might just be our new thing.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Y'all probably gonna kill me for this, but I'm still not sold on the defense yet.
Well, it's time. It's time. Let my man Steve keep cooking real quick. Just hold tight real quick, Stephen Brown. Stephen F. So let's touch on the bandit position. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, well, that actually was leading to my question for you, Stephen. We talked about this recently. I had a chance to listen to Kane Womack today, as well as Deontay Lawson. One of the names that's being tossed about right now is L.T. Overton. Yeah, and they are just fired up about him. The man has been straight up nasty in practice, did some crazy things this past scrimmage. But another name that's being thrown in there, Jamarian Latham. Kane Womack, he loves my guy. Says he has great athleticism, great speed to power. Says he's a 280-pound ass kicker. And the man has paid his dues. I like the man's chances. So is he the undisputed number 1 bandit? If so, sell us on it.
Jamarian Latham is the number 1 undisputed bandit, and here's why. He knows the entire culture in this system, and it did not take Jamarian Latham long to pick it up. People fail to realize this guy played 1A ball at Pickens High School, and it was a wrecking shop. But when he came to Alabama, he had to learn the complexity of a Nick Saban defense. Now you remove Nick Saban, and it's Kane Womack. Now that defense isn't as complex as it once was. And now you got a Freddie Roach who's also instilling a lot of confidence in you to be able to go out there and run that bandit spot. Jamarian Latham's the guy. And he's another one that came in that 2020 COVID class with Will Anderson, with Drew Sanders, with Braswell. Latham came in that class. He's really good. It's taken him some time, but he's now ready to take his moment as well. L.T. Overton's good also. I think he's number 2 after Latham. If Latham has to come out, you put L.T. in there, but Latham's number 1 at bandit right now. He was actually leading a whole line of defensive linemen through drills today, working with Freddie Roach and Jamie Mosley. So Latham would be number 1.
Okay.
Now, every Bama fan, even Coach Saban, which I think he was slightly hating on the secondary, talking about how average the secondary is going to be or the lack of experience. From your knowledge from sitting out there, I heard this Cali connection has been putting it together. What's your thoughts on that?
So in the secondary right now, Smoke, you got 2 guys from Modern Day High School, the powerhouse of Modern Day High School, running it. That's Damani Jackson, the transfer from USC, and you got Xavier Brown, the freshman 5-star from Modern Day, and they've both been running it. Now, Xavier's got a cast on his left hand, but it hasn't been bothering him at all. He'll have that cast taken off soon. He's still covering out there. He's still moving out there. It's not hindering his ability whatsoever. And when you talk to coaches about Xavier, it's this, everything's in the right place. His eye discipline's there. His footwork is there. His technique is there. Everything is there. When you talk about this kid, he gets it. He understands how to take away the best receiver. He gets it.
And if there's a number 3 and number 4 cornerback right now behind those two, who would those 2 guys be that the fans need to hear about?
So right now, there's a number 3 and a number 4. That's a good question. Deshaun Jones will be in there of a transfer from Wake Forest, but also Jalen Mbakwe's in there too. Bach is in there. According to Womack, Bach, there's going to be a role for him in this defense. They talked about it. He's going to have a role. Now, Mbakwe played several positions in high school, including quarterback at Clay Chalkville, but Bach has caught on so quickly as a defensive back, he's going to have a role in the secondary.
But one of the things I'm not really concerned about the secondary being young as much as I would if it were the linebackers and the D-line being young. If we have strength in our D-line and our linebackers, that's going to speed up that timing on that offense anyway. And let's be honest, whether it's cover 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's all the same as it was in high school and 7-on-7. So I ain't worried about them being young because, again, if it was young up front, I would be worried for the sake of their physicality and them having the strength to compete up front. But that's not the issue. I'm not so much as worried about their strength and how strong they are on the back end. I think we'll be just fine on that back end.
Okay, so let me ask this. And this is the smoke. So pretty much Womack has come in and he is pretty much doing what Saban is doing, but he's more so simplifying it for the players so they can, I guess, play faster.
Right. So Steve,
when you know, you play faster.
Yeah. So Steve, if you look at it like this, there's always been that issue with all the players that come through Saban's defense. It's the same thing with Bill Parcells' defense, Bill Belichick's defense. It's a complex defense that basically they have answers for every offensive formation and every offensive play that you're going to run as an offensive coordinator. Now, the issue with that is when you're young, you're always going to struggle with it. But if you get older and you understand the reasons why you have to do it, then that's when you saw Bama play lights out defense. But if you come in young and inexperienced and you have to go through 3 to 4 to 5 different checks and you have to communicate, that's when we saw the Saban defense getting exposed. Because offense was being sped up. You weren't having time to communicate every single check in motion to the front end, the linebackers, the second level, and also the back end. That's why you see a lot of busts with it. But what coach is doing, Womack's doing is he's simplifying it. And when you simplify the defense, you're going to get your athletes now to run faster, and you can get younger players that are talented to play earlier.
Right.
In the process.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Because again, you think about it. Like I said, I just want to give you this analogy. Would you rather play a freshman defensive back or a freshman defensive lineman? Because again, that freshman defensive lineman, he's finna get his ass kicked by some junior and senior offensive linemen because he's not physically strong enough. That doesn't matter on the secondary. We just need you to know what you're doing.
Right.
I kind of equate this, guys, to meal prepping food, for example. And Marvin, you can attest to this. When you're meal prepping, you get a little bit of
meal
time.
prep.
Okay. When you meal
Let
prepping,
him make his point.
you get a little bit at a time, right?
I know, right?
You don't fill up the entire plate, right? You get a little bit at a time. And the more you want to add that you can take, you add more. So it's just like what Kane Womack's doing. He's not piling up all of this stuff on these young athletes. He's saying, okay, I'm going to give you what you can handle. You show me you can handle that and play fast. Now we can add a little bit more. Now we can add a little bit more. Now we can add a little bit more. That's what he's doing.
Well, to add a little bit more context to it, Gerald will probably agree with this. This is the same thing that Ellis Johnson did in '99 when we won the SEC championship. Because again, the majority of our starters were freshmen and sophomores on that defense, so there was no way he could give us a full playbook and send us out there. Week by week, it was a little bit more added, and it just allowed us to play football and do the thing we've done since we were kids without having to think about it.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what's
Now, I've been hearing that the inside linebackers have been a position of somewhat battle. What have you been seeing from all three of those guys?
All three of those guys, Lawson, Campbell, and Jefferson, Kane Womack looks at all three of those guys as starters. But here's the thing. Campbell has really stepped up in that communication piece. He can call out the defense too. And that is why when you look at Lawson can call it and Campbell can call it. So if Lawson has to go out for a play, you can slide Campbell in the middle and then drop off. Campbell's also added 14 pounds. He's gone from 230 to 244. And he's laying the hammer against the run. And Marvin, here's something you can appreciate here. You got Justin Jefferson, who of the three, I think he's the most see it, get it athletically. I think he's the most see ball, get ball athletically of the three.
Well, here's my question. Out of that group of three, which one can look at that offensive set and determine where that play is going based upon that personnel group and who's on ball, who's off ball? Is he one by one on the quarterback? Because, again, that's
Lawson.
Great middle linebacker. That's the guy who I want. Not only who can call the defenses, but who knows what to expect and can direct everybody.
Well, Marvin, what I would say to that is, yes, that's who you want out there, but the game has changed a lot since we once played, where you want the guy to go out there and process, diagnose the play. Offenses are running the play so fast that really if you aren't as fast and if you get put in place in space and you can't make plays in space, you're now a liability. If you go back to that Michigan, I know you're about to say something, Marvin, because you like those Big Ten mics, those big stiff guys.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Just hold tight. You can see what Michigan did to Lawson the last two the first touchdown, the last touchdown. They made him pick up that number 3 receiver coming back across the field,
Yep.
and he was not fast enough, athletic enough to play in space. So yes, you have the veteran out there that does know where the play is going, can get there, physical, leadership. But it's sometimes you got to have an eraser. When everything goes bad, I can.
Oh, internet police got him.
Wow.
Ah.
Actually, I think it's
I'll
because
finish
he
his
sassed
statement for him.
he
If
sassed
you-
Marvin, and Marvin did. That's Marvin's fault.
Nah. So basically what he's saying is you want a middle linebacker who can account for the mistakes of everyone else around
He's
him.
back.
That's what you want. That middle linebacker, if that play gets busted, that guy better be able to account for everything. That's basically what Gerald is saying. That he
All
raised.
right.
So-
Okay, hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's stop right here. All right, Smoke. You
Yes, sir.
had us right here. Everybody was like, all right, and then Marvin cut your internet off. So we gotta let you finish that, brother, because everybody was like, damn it, Marvin. I can see it in the comments. So
Well, the internet, Marvin already know the internet platinum. It's Marvin that want to hit the button because he want to hate on because I disagree with him because he's a Big Ten Mike. But
Right.
at the end of that, I was just saying the way that the college game and overall the game of football has been played at the second level, meaning linebackers and even nickels, it's being played in space. So if you can't operate in space horizontally or vertically, you're going to be exposed. And if you saw the first Michigan touchdown, your number 3 guy that had to pick him up was your inside linebacker, got exposed with speed. The last touchdown was also your Mike linebacker not being able to carry that speed player across the formation to pick him up and give up a touchdown. So yes, I understand that the position has to have knowledge, leadership, be able to key diagnose and have instincts. But at the end of the day, at some point, you're going to have an eraser when everything goes bad on your defense. And I think that's what Steven is saying Jefferson has become. And Coach Womack is liking that a little bit more than what Lawson had to do.
Yeah, because Jefferson is an athletic eraser. He can do that. Now Campbell could do it also, but I think Jefferson just with the burst that he's got, he can erase some stuff out there on the field. So, but also with the 3 inside linebackers, there could be a package used with all 3 of those guys.
Correct.
And then you got the backups, which Womack likes as well, and that's Alexander, that's Okunrokwo, and that's also Sterling Dixon. So you got even the young guys are starting to gravitate toward this is how I got to play. It's simplified. I can go out here and do this.
you know what? I'm loving what I'm hearing about the simplicity of the defense. Because honestly, I'm what you said, Smoke, is really resonating with me. That means more young guys can play, and some of the younger guys are just as athletically inclined or more athletic than the older guys. So it helps out overall. It helps the overall defense out.
Right, Steve. Just remember, Reggie Ragland didn't play until his junior year, and I've sat down with Reggie over and over again, and he just couldn't pick the defense up, and it just takes time.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember when C.J. Mosley first started playing, he only played in packages, sub-packages of nickel and dime. And then when they went to base, he was out of the game. So that's how they introduced players in his package that couldn't be left on the sideline. He just gave them packages. All you had to do was just master that package, and that's the only way you can play. But if we just touched on the defense, Steven, let's go on the side that scores touchdown. And let's touch on the offensive line. We know we got our 5. We have our 4. Who's the 5th offensive lineman that plays the right tackle?
That'll be Wilkin Formby, who is a young man from Northridge High School in Tuscaloosa. He's the 5th guy. I think he's locked up left. I think he's locked up right tackle. I know it's been a conversation between him and Elijah Pritchett. I think Pritchett's a backup, good backup, solid backup. But I look at Formby as the starter. Yeah, Steve, you're in there too, man.
No. I was gonna ask. So, has Caden Proctor won his spot back already?
Absolutely, Caden Proctor is one of the best offensive linemen in the United States.
He's back in left tackle, man.
Undeniable.
Wow. That's what's up. Well, that's I'm proud of him, man. That's great news.
Steve, he's changed his body.
Yeah.
His mindset has always been the same, but you got to remember these young kids they ain't built like us.
Mm-hmm.
Where if something happens dramatic in our life, we can overcome.
Right.
I think when Coach Saban retired, that's a hard pill to swallow.
It rattled him.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you coming from Iowa down to Tuscaloosa, you needed to stabilize. And Coach Saban, for the most, he's been there. He's not going anywhere. So when he leaves, you're in the uproar. So his ability to play has never was never in question. It's just you make him earn it back. So I sat down. I was talking to Courtney Morgan while he was up here at the symposium for personnel and recruiting, and he always said he always has to have 6 to 7 offensive players in terms of offensive linemen in the system. Who was going to be those 6th and 7th offensive linemen, in your opinion, Stephen M? The tackle and the interior swing guy. And swing, I mean guard center combination.
Okay, so I think the 6th guy in the formation is going to be Geno Vandermark, the transfer from Michigan State. He's looking good out there as a guard. So I think he's the 6th. I think he's the 6th guy, and Chris Kaplovich knows him very well because he coached him at Michigan State for a year. So Chris Kaplovich knows him. So I go Geno Vandermark. I think the last guy I will look at Rock Montgomery. Rock Montgomery is very versatile. He can play guard, but he can also play center. Very good snapping the football. Rock Montgomery are the guys that came in that 2023 offensive line class. And that 2023 class, that was Proctor, that was Rock Montgomery, that was Formby, that was Olase Nganin, that was Miles McVay. Of all of those guys, Rock is the most underrated, but Rock may be the best of the whole group.
Now, I know every Bama fan wants to hear about who's going to be catching the ball. Who are the starting 3 receivers and who's the 4th? And we have to touch on Ryan Williams and how he's getting introduced to college football. And do you see any packages or anything that they have in place for him to pick up that learning curve?
Well, the starting 3 guys that I've seen in fall camp at this point, you would have K-Law at the X at the top of the formation. So he's more so of the intricate route runner, if you will. You got Kobe Prentice in the slot. This guy's got big speed. And then you got Germie Bernard at the bottom of the formation at Z. He's got deceptive speed also, really good blocker, but just an all-around wide receiver. So those are your main 3, K-Law, Prentice, and Germie Bernard. Ryan Williams is the 4th guy in this. And I think they're going to use Ryan a lot. I feel like they can use Ryan on the inside or the outside. So they could interchange Kobe Prentice and K-Law to put Ryan in there because he commands so much attention. At 17 years old, this kid should still be in high school. At 17 years old, the routes are there, the speed's there, the hands there, the verticality to get up and snatch the football is there. So that kid draws a lot of attention. When I look at Ryan, I go back to the reason why in 2012 that DeAndrew White, Christian Jones, Kevin Norwood, Kenny Bell, they all had success. Everybody was scared to death of Amari Cooper. It was, where is 9? We got to keep an eye on 9 because 9 is going to kill us. And 9 created so much for everybody else. It's the same thing 2015 with Calvin Ridley. That's the reason why Richard Mullaney, O.J. Howard finally, other guys had success because Calvin was killing people. So it's the same thing here with Ryan. Ryan is going to create so much for everybody else. He's going to get his, but he's going to create for everybody else. So I think he's 4, which would be 5 is Caleb Odom at 6'5", 217. You got to get that freakish athlete out there. He's red zone target. So Caleb Odom to me would be 5. 6 would be Emmanuel Henderson. I really like E-Man. He's going to find his way out there. 7 would be, the next guy would be Cole Adams. I think Cole Adams will round this out. Cole has made a huge jump throughout camp.
So 2 things. Kendrick Law, from what I understand, he reminds you of, is it Debo?
Debo Samuel, yeah.
He's a Debo Samuel type.
Yeah, and I heard he's like he looks like a running back, but he's really a receiver. Now, how big is Ryan Williams? Is he because I saw 160 something.
He's up to 170 now, isn't he, Steven?
He's 175 now.
How tall is he?
6'1". He's 6'1".
Okay.
So Steve, if I had to put a picture in your mind of a person that is comparison to his physical traits and how he looks physically, just think about Smitty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it right there. Perfect comp. Comp. But I would say that Smitty, but faster. Ryan Williams is sub 10.5 100-meter dash track speed.
Smitty was just smooth. This kid is explosive.
This is
fast,
explosive.
quick twitch.
I gotta still take.
Why are you looking so confused, though, Steve? My God,
It's blown his mind, sir. He's excited.
I'm excited, man. You gotta understand. I'm looking at all these weapons we got, and it's going to feel. It's going to fall into my prediction that Alabama's going to surprise a lot of people, and don't be surprised if they go undefeated. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sticking with that.
And for that said, Stephen M. Smith, you're off the hot seat with the depth chart.
Fantastic.
Man, this wasn't even no hot seat. I felt good, man.
I know, because you in that beacon chair.
Exactly. I thought he was going to start the segment out with giving on to God.
Hey, he's sitting on a stack of Bibles.
No,
What we got
man.
next, man?
I
What we got next, man? This is a great show, man. Listen, hey, people, if y'all don't tell more people about the Bama Standard, something's wrong with y'all. We here, and we are giving it to y'all, man. We are hot, we are fun, and we just easy to look at, except for the guy on the bottom.
Yeah, me too. It's just
yeah. But other than that, man, y'all subscribe, share, like, comment. Hey, man, we coming. Bama Standard.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Before we
let
get
you
to
have
the last segment, I want to remind everybody the season is vastly approaching, and the only way to be a wild Bama fan and supporting your team is to have in your hand, your possession, a title towel. I want you guys to go to whitwillsports.com after the show, enter that promo code STANDARD, get you one of the hottest pieces of merchandise there is, a title towel. You're going to get a nice discount courtesy of the Bama Standard Network. So go visit whitwillsports.com today. All right, so as we get to the final subject.
I finally got mine.
Man, so proud of you. So staying with the experts, we as the armchair quarterbacks, if you will, we don't really fully understand the goings on with fall camp and scrimmages. So I have Marvin here, and I have Gerald here, Smoke, who have been through it. They understand the process of each week and what each week means. So I want to get beyond the service level, guys. Can you give a game plan of fall camp and then what to expect from here out? And answer the question, have the rosters been set? So let's go ahead and I'll turn over to both of y'all. Educate us. Tell us something.
Well, Mook, I'll jump in first, Marvin, and trying to explain it more from the personnel side and what happens now during fall camp. When you look at fall camp, we all have to remove the old model of two-a-days. Because when you had two-a-days, you were doubling the practice that you're having now, meaning that you can truly assess your young talent that's coming in. But right now, you only have single practices. So you aren't truly assessing your talent. You're only getting your team ready and prepared for game one. So the first week of fall practice was basically trying to set your depth chart. After that second scrimmage, your depth chart is being set, and you're now having personnel meetings. You're trying to find out who your third running back is, who your third tight end is, who that 6th, 7th, and 8th offensive lineman is. Who's going to be like Marvin just said on the defensive side? Who are you going to put in that sub package as your speed rushers? Who's going to be your nickel? Who's going to be your third, fourth corners? And who are going to be your backups? Now, on the special team side, you're trying to figure out as special team coach, who are the best 11 can I put out there? And with that said, you have to know who's in the first and the second string. Because now this is where guys are going to be, the red shirt is going to be involved, or the guy that's only going to play in those 4 games. So it's right now that we look at it going into week 2, that Bama team is getting ready for the first game. The first string and second string is getting ready. And the look team, the developmental team, is now getting put aside so they can now service the 1s and 2s. And then the 3s are the ones that's going to service. So you're going to see the crimson jersey come out, the white jerseys come out, and most likely the black jerseys are for the team, the guys that are on the third team that's getting themselves prepared for next year. That does not mean that they're not good players, but they are not mentally and physically ready at this moment to contribute to the Bama team moving forward.
Okay.
So with that said, Marvin, you've been through it. I've been through it. That first week of that fall camp as a player, what was your mindset?
I mean, more than anything, it's just asserting myself into that starting lineup, letting the coaches know that I'm here to play football, to get a job done, and that you can count on me. But one of the things that a lot of people don't take into account when you start to wind camp down, you get to that midway point, classes are starting. So again, you're taking kids who are in high school, now they have to account for their time. So this is a pivotal point for the older players to reach back and instill into these kids how to somewhat be professionals, because you have to be professional at this point. Not only are you having to practice, you got to go to class. You got to take care of your body, which is even more important because, like you said, you're starting to prepare for that game one. If you're not taking care of your body, you're doing a disservice to yourself and your team. And on a long season, this is going to be one of the longest seasons in college football history. So you're really going to have to take care of yourself. So again, just a matter of accounting for that time and understanding, hey, I got practice, I have workouts, I have film study, I have class, I have to take care of my body. So again, more than anything, it's going to be more time management and those older guys teaching the younger guys the way to get things done.
Marvin, if you could just touched on it, rest and recovery, and just understanding when you have to go to sleep and how long you have to stay up. When we came in young, we thought we had all the freaking out there. When we got back to the daggone dorm, we were tired, but we wanted to stay on the phone with our girlfriends or have that conversation to play cards. With the guy that takes care of his body as well as you do and understand it, how important is that rest and recovery so you can get ready for the next day in order to really capitalize on your reps during fall camp?
Well, it starts with getting a proper night's sleep, 7 to 8 hours. That's what I get now as an adult. And looking back, I wish I had known this, when I was in school. So again, that's what it starts with, getting adequate rest and feeding your body the appropriate fuels that will actually allow you to perform at a higher level, not putting the alcohol in your body, not putting things that, the processed foods in your body, all these things that make you sluggish and slow you down. They all play a role in how you're going to perform throughout the week. And we all know you practice how you're going to play. So again, it's a process, and these younger guys, they have nutritionists now, so they have a lot more resources than we had. So logically, there's no reason for them not to get the rest that they need and the proper diet for their body type. And then some of them, it even goes as far as knowing their blood type and what they need to put in their bodies. I mean, science has come a long way in predicting how athletes will perform. So they have every resource at their disposal. So, but again, it starts with a proper night rest and a diet specific to your body type and for some, their blood type.
Makes complete sense. Now, we knew those camp legs. We knew when guys came out, they were fresh and having those camp legs. And when you went on to week 2, I always said this week 2 separates the men from the boys because everyone came out during the first week and you're fresh off of workouts. We had TJ done got us in shape. But we all know that once you step on the football field, that next day, you aren't 100%. So now it becomes who has the most mental toughness that can go through that grind, that had that little hammy, that had that little groin, that had little bumps and bruises. How did you prepare yourself when you had those bumps and bruises to say, hey, my body doesn't hurt right now and I can get through all this pain and make sure that I am the starter when game 1 started?
Well, one of the biggest things was I hated doing it, but getting into that cold tub, man, I used to hate getting into that tub. And again, for the small little aches and bruises, ice, because again, most guys want to be tough guys. Oh, I ain't icing this. Listen, take care of your body. That is your greatest asset that you have as an athlete. If you allow it to break down, then what else do you have? So, and again, go to the training room, getting that treatment that you need, and I hope they've progressed beyond giving people salt tablets and ice and stem for everything, because that's not the answer for everything. Here, get some salt tablets. Man, I got a headache. What's salt tablets going to do? But hey, so again, training, man, taking care of your body. And when you're off the field, go home, sit down, rest. Don't feel like you got to go to every party. You don't have to go stand out on the block. You don't have to go do this. Rest your body, man. Listen, fresh legs go a long way. I tell you that right now.
And you know what, Moog? I'm sorry to cut you off, Steve.
Go ahead.
The thing that I always took personal to myself is being a leader is if you're an older guy and you see that a young guy that does not know how to prepare properly, take one underneath your arms, underneath your wings, and lead that young person, no matter if they're in the same position as you are, and that's competing at the same spot in a position battle. A true teammate and a true leader, that does not intimidate you. That only helps you and elevates your game when you can make the next one as good as you are, teach them everything that they need to do, and
Mhm.
still beat them out of that position, that's only making your team better. Because one thing that I always hated Marvin, and I'm not going to say the teammate's name, they used to always tell the young guys the wrong checks to get into and get their butts chewed out. Oh, Steve, guys that aren't true competitors will give you every single disadvantage for them not to win.
Wow. That's ultimately hurting the team too.
Yeah, you're right, because I had one ahead of me, but he never told me anything. And then he ends up leaving. So, I was out there by trial and error. My redshirt freshman year, I just had to figure it all out on my own.
Okay, so Marvin, did he leave because you were better or because you aggravated the hell out of him like you do on this show?
Let me answer that for you, Marvin. Can I answer that for him?
Yeah.
Marvin was flat out better than the person in front of him. I don't even want to mention his name. And I'm gonna give you one bump, Marvin, if I take you off the hot seat. Marvin is the third best linebacker that I've ever played with at any single level.
Smoke, let me say this to you.
Well, thank you, brother.
Smoke. I got so much love and respect for you, Smoke. I do, and I value your opinion, and your football IQ is off the chart. But that was one of the most. That was one of the biggest fibs you could ever tell. Marvin is garbage. Marvin's
the thing about it. We all played with that one guy. When he sat on the sideline, his football pants were like cargo shorts. That was Steve Brown.
Did you not see him on this college football? This college football. I went back to throwbacks. Marvin had on slacks. No,
Steve. I'm gonna let you do a lot of things, but I'm not gonna let you crush his football acumen, his ability to play football. Marvin, before injury, I'm glad, Marvin, you know what? NFL. Period.
Hey, I would say this.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta confess something. When Marvin went down, I damn near cried. I'm like, man, I can't believe this. And that is the God honest truth. But he's better now. So forget Marvin. I don't care nothing about none of that. I don't care about none of that. Marvin was garbage.
And Marvin, you've been off the hot seat for about 5 minutes, so cool off, my good guy.
Well, thank you, brother. Man, I love y'all guys, man.
He's always on the hot seat with me. He'll never come off the hot seat.
Man, what a fantastic show. The chat, I'm reading through it all. They are absolutely enjoying all this content. They're consuming it. Folks, if you're new to the show, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and come back next week and the week after. Listen, we've got a lot coming your way. A lot of legends who are going to be coming on. And then we also have our appearance at the Paul W. Bryant Museum, September 6th, the night before the USF game. We will be live at 6 p.m. Central. We're going to have a lot to break down and some great guests. Jake Coker, courtesy of Marvin Constant, Blake Sims, and a few other guys will be making a nice appearance to help entertain you. But also, listen, before Marvin goes, I'll remind everyone we have a network of shows. Tonight, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, we've got the final whistle. Matter of fact, one of the panelists, Daniel Petty, is in the chat right now. Go check them out. They got great content, a lot of fun. They're going to give you a brand new perspective. Tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Crimson Dynasty with C. She Payne, Hannah Stevens, and the illustrious Dan James. You don't want to miss what they have coming Saturday. Two big shows. We're going to give you the latest in scrimmage news at 1:30 p.m. Central. We'll be live for the post-scrimmage show. Stephen M. Smith is going to give us the latest, hot off the press, what's going on. Y'all definitely want to tune into that. Steve Brown will be here. I'll be here. It's going to be good. And then that night, the nightcap, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday night's Talking Bama with Josh J.T. Tucker, the guy who made our new intro, and Justin J.B. Baines and Marshall Bean, and the hardest working man in show business, Stephen M. Smith. So definitely check that out. Marvin, what do you got before we start to close things down?
This better be good.
I just want to go on record before the season starts. So from my sources in Tuscaloosa, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, I am no longer concerned about our defense. I want to go on record and say I truly believe that this defense will be a top 5 defense in the SEC with the potential to be top 5 in the country on the back end of the season. With the guys that I've seen, how they've changed their body, the athleticism that they possess, this defense actually with the scale down playbook has a chance to be special.
They're gonna give you free, but they're gonna give you free burger at Rammer Jammers now. You said it. Nice.
But to add to Marvin's point, I was talking to Deontay Austin after practice today, and Deontay Austin said one thing about this Kane Womack defense. He said this defense has brought fun back to the inside linebacker position. That's what he said. He said Kane Womack's defense has brought intensity, it's brought dominance, it's brought fun. We can fly around and just hit people the way we want to hit people. Yeah. So Kane Womack, I've said this, he's something. That guy's something.
I tell you what, I know why he went to you and said that, because he heard my message about that 0. You better earn that 0, I tell you that. The first player to ever have it, you better do something with it.
Absolutely. Now he took it to heart, and we're going to see some big things. Well, folks,
with an alphabet on.
Well, let's start to wind things down. As always, we're going to give you an opportunity to follow this cast. So I'm going to go around the room, give you all an opportunity to pop what you got, so these folks can follow you after the show. Starting with Marvin Constant. Tell folks about 40 Plus Strong, what you got going. We'll go to Stephen M. Smith, then Steve Brown, and then close out with Smoke.
You can find me on Instagram, Constant45, Twitter, Constant451. Direct links on both to grab a copy of my book. 3 different workout programs, 6 weeks each. Middle, if you're beginner, intermediate, whatever level you're on. You know, agreeing, $15, great resource. If you're trying to get them hammers back, baby, you trying to bring sexy back, baby, hey, I got you covered. I'm always available for questions as well. I don't care nothing about you frowning Smoke, because I ain't coming in my business casual today.
Stephen M. and
oh man, you're a beaut.
Oh man, well tomorrow, they can find me on X at Coaching M. Smith. The guy got a Bible up, man. You can find me on X at Coaching M. Smith.
I thought he said take out your Bible. I didn't know.
Y'all can find me on X at Coaching M. Smith on X, Coaching M. Smith. Y'all can also find me tomorrow at the Alabama practice facility. You got the media availability tomorrow. We'll have offensive coaches and players. So that's Nick Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard. We may get Robert Gillespie. That'll be cool. We'll have some offensive players as well. They'll probably give us Milroe back again. So that'll be a fun conversation. So we'll be back out there. They're not allowing us to get the practice, unfortunately, but the media availability for the players and coaches, we'll get that. So I'll have fun with that.
Hey, Steve, was that Bible the one of those that he was sitting on?
Yeah, that was one of them. Hey, before I go, man, I think we got a super chat too.
We do. Go ahead, tackle that, Steve, and then tell people what you got.
Don Parker, man, thanks for the super chat. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you supporting our show, man. But let other people know about the Bama Standard, man. We are here and we're growing, and we appreciate people like you for supporting us. You can find me on Instagram, Comic Steve Brown, one word, Comic Steve Brown. My fan page is Comedian Steve Brown. Fan page on Facebook, and of course, I'm at the Uptown Comedy Corner here in Atlanta, Friday through Sunday. And looking forward to doing the thing, man. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all at one of our live events, man. It's gonna be crazy. I'm just excited. So yeah, there it is.
There it is. When I'm not here on the Bama Stand, you can find me on the 247 Sports page and YouTube channel with my man Carl Reed, unfiltered on our new times, new days, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 Central, 5 Eastern. Come check us out. And also you can find me on X and Instagram, Coach GV Dixon. Come check me out. And Marvin, stop hating on me.
Oh yeah, Justin, I just got a text from Stephen. He said, "Turn to 2 Timothy."
That was not my text.
And repent. Justin, take us home, man. Get us out of here.
Stephen looks like one of those pastors who say, "I won't be long."
Yeah, I'm not going to be very long. You got it next Friday.
5 hours later.
Yes. But hey, again, great show. Thank you to my cast. Thank you to all you folks in the chat who make it do what it do. We'll be right back next Tuesday night. Check us out. Until then, roll tide.
Roll
Roll
Tide.
Tide.
We rolling.